A Bitcoin super cycle, $100,000 on the horizon. Well, Bitcoin about to break out. We think again this week there is some bullish news coming, as well as some interesting options. And don't forget, some crypto experts are weighing in on why Bitcoin is going to be the big winner this coming week. We've got it all for you though in this video. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Stay up to date with everything going on in meme coins, altcoins, Bitcoins, trading, and everything else. With that being said though, let's get into the video. So I want to come back and look at the charts in just a second, but I thought it would be worthwhile just looking at some of the news and, more importantly, some of the predictions that are coming this week. Now, if you're watching my update videos at the back end of last week, we talked specifically about ETFs and how big they were last week. Well, guess what? I think they're going to be even bigger this week. And you may ask yourself the question, 2-bit. Why is that? Well, the reality here is we saw the New York Stock Exchange, the CBOE, allow options trading on Bitcoin ETFs at the back end of last week. That's absolutely wild. You can see it here. October 18th, the US Securities and Exchange Commission approved applications to the New York Stock Exchange and the Chicago Board Options Exchange to list the long-anticipated options for spot Bitcoin exchange-traded funds. This will make options trading available for 11 approved Bitcoin ETF providers, and the approval could significantly bolster Bitcoin ETF inflows, according to trading firm QCP Capital, which wrote on October the 19th, quote, "The consistent inflows into the ETF highlight that institutional demand remains strong. With this morning's approval by the SEC, the approval for Bitcoin ETF options to be listed on the New York Stock Exchange, we believe this will provide the ETF with the needed liquidity to attract sustainable inflows." Now, this obviously is a big deal. What's interesting is you can see here on the options calls, the absolute monster of a call at 67%. Now, again, I'm not going to try and profess that I'm the world's greatest trader, but just for those that may or may not know what it's all about, ultimately, puts and calls. Well, calls generally are where people believe the price is going to go up. We generally assume that with a high rate of calls is a bullish desire or a bullish sentiment. The other way, however, if we see lots of puts, that's generally a bearish sentiment. What can we see? We see a massive 67% on options open interest for the calls. What does that mean? People are predicting a significant rally to the upside, and there's a number of reasons why that is. Crypto experts believe that the presidential election is going to be a huge catalyst for Bitcoin. In fact, when you take a look at some of the charting data, history tells us that post an election is when the real bull market kicks off. Now, there are still all those bears. There are still all those people out there that are saying 2-bit's going to $40,000. It's simply not. The reality here is that we are well past that point. There is too much institutional investment. There is too much money coming into the Bitcoin market. And for me, lots of people, if you are still waiting, you have simply missed out. And again, the election is absolutely going to be that point that we see. History does tell us this. Here it is. This is generally, if we were looking at previous bull market cycles, post the election, we absolutely see that skyrocket into the next year. So generally speaking, March to April 2025 is when we'll be looking at market cycle top, unless we're going to go for a double top, which puts us at the back end of last year, similar to the 2021 bull market. So that's also good news. I am, however, hearing some rumors. And you know, we try and keep you up to date here on the 2-Bit Crypto channel. We try and make sure that you guys are best positioned. We called the ETF inflows last week. We called Bitcoin being bought up significantly by BlackRock. Well, hot off the press, yet to be verified. So do be mindful. Russia to legalize Bitcoin mining from November the 1st. This could be huge. We've been talking about this now for quite some time on this channel, and I always said that they would be coming into the market when the market is at its hottest. I absolutely believe the same would be said from China, but if Russia comes in, expect China to come in pretty soon. We know Chinese have been stimulating their economy. They've been driving money into their markets, into their exchange, the stock exchange, as well as housing market. They really have been printing some money. Global liquidity, M2 money, absolutely at an all-time highs. This is very interesting. Now, you can also tell when the market is absolutely ready to skyrocket because people try and bring it down, whether that's Gary Gensler suing XRP or what is now the ECB officially urging Bitcoin latecomers and non-holders to oppose Bitcoin and advocate for legislation against it. Well, the reality here is, ECB, you are just going to print some more money. And this is the point here. Whenever you've got people like the ECB or Gary Gensler or anyone else telling you that Bitcoin's a scam, telling you Bitcoin is not going to go anywhere, that's when you know that they're really worried. We know that banks are getting involved. We know institutions are getting involved. We know that there are significant inflows into those ETFs from some of the biggest hedge fund markets as well as ETF derivatives in the space. And, well, the ECB just needs to get on with it. The reality here is that they simply are not going to stop it. And whether they can urge or advocate for legislation, that's absolutely fine. For me, this is an attempt at stifling the market. And I don't believe it's going to work. So look out, it's going to be a crazy week. Let's take a look at price action. And interestingly enough, holding above the break line, we want to see this. This is important through the weekend. On the short time frame, we are still looking very bullish actually, and holding outside of this channel, this continuation to the upside. I'd like to see us around 69,000 to 70k going into Monday, because I think we're going to see a huge onslaught of ETF purchasing Bitcoin. We saw BlackRock at its biggest day, 5,500 Bitcoin, $330 million. We'll expect some more of that. Aligned to a potential grayscale new fund coming out. Well, next week looks pretty crazy if you ask me. Jobs on the rise. We get even nearer to the next Fed decision and that presidential election. So let me know what you're most bullish on. What do you believe is going to ignite the cryptocurrency market? But strap in, I think next week's going to be huge. Look out for 70k. And as always, if you enjoyed this content, you want to see more, then guess what? Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, turn notification bell, and you're not going to miss a beat on this channel. We try and bring you all the latest and greatest and breaking news here on the 2Bit Crypto channel. And don't forget, check out some of those links in the description. They massively help out. $8,000 worth of new sign-up bonuses with MEXC, as well as 10% rebate, so you can get all the trading you ever need. Until next time, everybody, thanks so much for watching. See you soon. Bye-bye.